if you are archer player and you are dealing damage mainly to infantry players during the war, and you feel like that you are not dealing any damage, which means you are not getting enough merits, that's because infantry has one of the highest amount of defense in the game. So in order for archers to actually deal a lot of damage to infantry, you have to somehow reduce the defense of infantry players. And because of that, we have in Call of Dragons something called defense break, which is reducing the defense of your opponents, and that's how you will deal more damage. In today's video, I'm gonna share one more hero pair, which will be one of the biggest defense break hero pair, which is going to reduce the defense of those infantries, and all of your other archer hero pairs are going to deal even more damage. Let's not waste too much time and let's get to the job, right? And first of all, we're gonna go to the marksman, and I'm speaking regarding Inara and Sibyl, right? Of course, we're gonna share the artifacts, talents, skill order, war pits, and so on, so you will have the flexibility to actually build this hero pair. So first of all, what kind of synergies Inara and Sibyl has, right? Both of them are actually control type of hero pair, and the main idea is to give your opponents as much debuffs as possible. Even Inara's main skill, target damage dealt reduction 50%, is actually really good, right? Also, normal attack damage bonus, hero skill damage reduction. It's all of these buffs will increase your damage, and not only damage, it will increase your tankiness. Here we have 30% marksman physical attack, and as I have said many times, 25 to 30% is good, 40% is amazing. But what's the most important is that Inara has defense break in her awakening skill. 20% chance to inflict defense break on target legion, reducing their defense by 20% for 3 seconds. This is the most important for our synergy, right? Of course, some other debuffs are also important, but we are looking at the defense break mainly. For Sibyl, well, same style, right? At first, there is some damage from the first skill, Legion attack reduction, some debuffs. Here, it starts to happen something amazing, right? Hero skill damage bonus 50%. Both of the heroes are dealing damage by the skill. Unit HP bonus 20%, and you know how much I like HP bonuses. March speed bonus 10% and 200% normal attack damage bonus. Only one hero in Archer gameplay has higher normal attack damage bonus. That's actually Magrat, and we all know how well Magrat and Zaida is performing. But for our defense break synergy, we have to give attention to the fourth skill. On reaching 50 rage, and both of the heroes are rage users actually, we are going to get 10% defense break up on the target. And what's the most important, this defense break will be attached for 15 seconds. We have seen defense breaks for 3 seconds, for 5 seconds, but 15 seconds is just too much. And also, you are going to get 40% attack bonus. And for archers, attack bonus is kinda stacked, 30% from Kinara, 40% from the Sibyl, and also we have 20% defense break from here, and we also has 10% defense break from here, 50 seconds from here, and 3 seconds from awakening skill. And of course, some more damage from the awakening. Basically, this awakening skill and this fourth skill from Kinara, from the Sibyl, is enough for you to actually reduce enough defense from your infantry players and actually deal a lot of damage, not only from Kinara and Sibyl, but also from the other archer heroes. That's the idea, right? Also, how you should actually upgrade the skills. I believe you have to awaken Kinara. If you don't have Kinara awakened, this synergy won't gonna happen, because we have to get this 20% chance to inflict this defense break on target, because we are looking at as much defense breaks as possible from the hero pair. So basically, awakening Inara should be your #1 priority. Also, she's a PvP hero, which means every single skill is usable in open field. But for the Sybil, Sybil is a rally hero, which means one skill, which is the second skill, has zero effect in open field PvP. So Sybil should be built 5155. That's it. It's not your highest priority to actually awaken Sybil, because change is not a lot. Your maximum should be, especially if you are a free-to-play player, 5155. That's enough. You are ready to use this hero pair and you are ready to dominate the infantry players. That's the skill order, how you should actually awaken or upgrade the skills of these two heroes. In terms of talents, I believe Inara should be primary hero in this hero pair, because we have a PvP talent tree here, and also we have two ways of building the talents of this hero pair. One way you can see right here, this is the way which you are going to have high march speed, and in general, as an archer player, archer main, I prefer my marksman units to have a high march speed in order for me to survive a lot of cavalry and infantry players, to have a good position. If I'm just too slow, sometimes I feel like it's impossible for me to fight. So this is the one way, halfway to marksman with the bullseye, halfway to PvP with Army of Valor, and halfway to control with Soul Siphon. And also, you can see I go to 1 overall speed, 2nd overall speed, 3rd overall speed, and 4th marksman speed, basically getting as much march speed as possible to be able to survive the chaos fights which generally happens. That's the first way, right? The second way is basically to go control talent tree until the maximum, and to grab also the ambush, because ambush also gives us defense break. That's another way, and I believe if you are going to full control build, you are not making any mistakes. It just basically, it depends what kind of gameplay you prefer to fight with your archer hero pairs. And of course, last talents here, Autumn Rains or the Reticent. This is the Silence. This one is when casting rage skill, a buff effect is dispelled from the target legion. Basically, I don't like none of them, but if you wanna have to choose, I would have gone with Reticent. The simple reason why I'm not going for the control, one is to get more march speed, and second, I just don't like control's last talents at all. Well, Reticent seems like a cool talent skill, but there is a 25% chance, and also 2 seconds, I believe, is not enough in order for this skill to be effective, right? 2 seconds, 2 seconds is just too fast, right? If it was 5 seconds, it's a totally different way, but I believe 5 seconds would be just OP, right? So there is 2 ways of choosing talents. One, which I'm using right now, if you want to have high march speed, and second is to go for full control and to get ambush also. That's basically enough for the talents, and that's the reason why I prefer to run Inara as a primary, because I want to utilize the PvP talent tree. I believe Army of Valor is a really good talent, and you should actually utilize this talent, especially if you can on Archer and PvP heroes. That's the reason Inara should be the primary hero. In terms of artifacts, I believe there is only one choice, and that's for sure Rattlespear, right? Rattlespear is a marksman PvP assault artifact, a marksman unit attack, legion attack, and Vicious Strike is the skill, which is really weird at first glance, because whenever you are channeling this skill, if you are going to move, you are going to cancel this skill, right? But if you somehow have Exemplar Wish Rattlespear, this effect is basically cancelled. You are straight up dealing all damage up together. Even if you are going to move, you will still deal damage. And what's most important is additional effect, right? And as I said, whole gameplay is centered around defense break. When your legion inflicts defense break, which we are always going to do on an enemy legion, your legion gains defense penetration, ignoring 20% of the enemy's defense for 7 seconds. 7 seconds is also important. So, level 5 Vicious Strike will be 2.5k damage and 20% defense penetration, which is super amazing. We're gonna also have defense penetration for this hero pair from the artifact. Also, trust me, Exemplar Vicious Strike is OP. The amount of damage this artifact is going to deal whenever you are going to have Exemplar Wish on this artifact is just too much, and even the skill will be easily used because there is no chance that you are going to cancel this skill, because Exemplar Wish cancels the channeling time of the Rattle Spear skill, which is Vicious Strike. So try to at least unlock this artifact. I have got this artifact on season 1 and finally I got it level 2. Of course, I will try my best to make it level 5 because I want to get this 20% defense penetration, because defense penetrations, defense breaks works amazingly well on the archer gameplay, because we are the troop type which deals most amount of damage to infantry because of our range, and as much defense we are going to reduce from those infantries, better and more damage we are going to deal all around, right? Other than that, I honestly can't really say that other artifact will work with this hero pair. That's why you have basically only one choice, because of the defense penetration and the synergies which Strikes is giving. But until you're gonna unlock the artifact, you can easily get Shadow Blades for some time, but remember, perfect match, perfect artifact for this hero pair is Rattle Spear. We're gonna go to the Warped section, and Warped section actually has a couple of Warpeds which will work well with this hero pair. First one is Snow Peak Rock, and it will be easily understandable why Snow Peak Rock works well whenever you're gonna read concentration skill. Legion physical attack, that's basically a passive, which is great, more attack for archers better, but there is 30% chance to deal damage to the target legion when inflicting defense break, and as I have mentioned, we are basically always going to apply defense break with this hero pair, from Kinara's Awakening skill, from Sibyl's 4th skill. So basically defense break always will be on target, and the concentration will basically always proc. Like, I have 50% chance to proc this, and we are going to deal damage, right? That's the main idea why Snow Peak Rock is one of the best Warpeds for the Sibyl and Kinara gameplay. Another choice is, of course, Barbed Manticore, right? Because Barbed Manticore also has synergy with defense break. Basically, deals damage and inflicts defense break minus 5% for 3 seconds, but if the target already has defense break, your Warped gains a Thorned Mark, and in the end you're gonna have maximum 5 stacks, and basically if you already applied the defense break, you are going to get 50 rage for free and you are going to deal more damage. Since Kinara and Sibyl basically have to use rage in order for them to deal damage, Barbed Manticore is a great choice if you want to use on that hero pair. You are not going to make any mistake if you are going to go for Barbed Manticore and not Snow Peak Rock. Also, it depends how good your Warped skill stars is. For example, myself, I have better Warped for Snow Peak Rock and better skills and stars. I'm still kind of working on Barbed Manticore, but this puncture skill is really good, especially for the archer gameplay, which is actually using rage, because, well, 50 rage for free, because we are for sure applying defense break, that's good, right? So Barbed Manticore is a second choice, and you can always go for the Sand Lizard, one of the cheapest Warpeds in the game. This Warped is not going to give you defense break or damage. This Warped's only one job is to make your hero pair stay alive, and longer you're gonna stay alive, more defense breaks you are going to apply, Also, if you are in season 1, it's really cheap to actually build this warped because it doesn't really have expensive skills, and all the skills which Sand Lizard has to have is really cheap, and it will be easy for you to make it 2-star and 3-star. Also, Stone Aura is a really nice skill. It not only heals your 1 March, but it also heals 4 of your nearby legions every 6 seconds. So pretty nice skill for this March and for all the other archer hero pairs which you are using. Basically, that's the main ideas how this hero pair work. Defense break is the main theme, and by applying this defense break, not only Kinara and Sibyl will deal more damage, but also your other 4 archer hero pairs are going to deal more damage because your target will have less defense. Of course, highest effect you will have by defense break is Infantry, because Infantry has highest defense, but also towards Cavalry, you're gonna reduce the defense of Cavalry. Same goes for Mages, because, well, Mages have lowest defense, but even that lowest defense can be reduced, and you're gonna deal even more damage. So, defense break, defense penetration, this is the 2 attribute which is amazing for archer gameplay. And believe me, whenever Sibyl actually came out, and it was only available on the test server, I was one of the first ones who tested Kinara and Sibyl and Falgrim and Nico, and they were performing amazingly well, even better than Falgrim and Sibyl. Since Sibyl is even stronger because of the updates, this hero pair, Kinara and Sibyl, got even stronger. So, if you have a chance, test it out in a real open field PvP, and of course share your reports and tell me how much you like this new idea, which is not new. I have been speaking about it a lot of times, but still I have seen that not a lot of players are using this March. As always, if you like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody an amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.